Take structural reforms to gauge competitiveness in prices if we approach things in the right order. First of all, those companies...
Never give in. Never give in. Never, never, never. In nothing, great or small, large or petty, never give in except to convictions of honor and good sense. Never yield to force. Never yield to the apparently overwhelming might of the enemy. Never, never, never.
Pigs, economies.
As the euro faced a crisis.
Pigs, economies.
For the last 30 years or so, people thought of Europe as
Pigs live. Portugal, Ireland, Greece, and Spain.
I need dollar, that's what I
reduce its
need.
deficit.
I giovani devono abituarsi all'idea che non avranno un posto fisso per tutta la vita. Del resto, diciamo la verità, che monotonia un posto fisso per tutta la vita.
Hey, hey, well I need dollar, that's what I need. And if I share with you my story, would you share your dollar with me?
On est quand même hypocrite. Ces derniers mois, la France a vendu 6 frégates à la Grèce pour 2,5 milliards. Des hélicoptères pour plus de 400 millions. L'Allemagne a vendu 6 sous-marins dans les prochaines années à la Grèce il y a quelques mois. Ça fait 1 milliard. Mais on est complètement hypocrite. On leur donne de l'argent pour acheter nos armes.
Open up the door, Schnitzen!
Πάμε.
Ist das nicht Lucaniko?
Ja, das ist Lugariko.
Ist das nicht ein Chirino?
Ja, das ist ein Kirino.
Ist das gut hier ein Brasto?
Das ist gut, ein Brasso.
Ist das nicht ein Barbecue?
Ja, das ist ein Barbecue.
Please continue to hold the line. Please continue to hold the line.
This is Houston. Say again, please. Houston, we've had a problem.
Well, here we are, on the edge of a financial and social disaster.
Έχει πια αποκαλυφθεί πως μια χούφτα τράπεζες και άλλη μια χούφτα οίκων αξιολόγησης παίζουν με την κρίση και τις οικονομίες του κόσμου. Αν αυτό συνέβαινε στη γειτονιά μας θα τους λέγαμε κλέφτες. Τώρα αποκαλούνται απλώς γκουρού της οικονομίας.
Can you pin down exactly what would keep investors happy, make them feel more confident?
Personally, it doesn't matter. See, I'm a trader. I don't really care about that kind of stuff. If I see an opportunity to make money, I go with that. We don't really care that much how they're going to fix the economy, how they're going to fix the whole situation. Our job is to make money from it.
I have to say, Mr Van Rompuy, 18 months ago when we first met, I was wrong about you. I said you'd be the quiet assassin of nation-state democracy, but you're not anymore. You, an unelected man, went to Italy and said this is not the time for elections, but the time for actions. What in God's name gives you the right to say that to the Italian people?
Governments don't rule the world. Goldman Sachs rules the world.
I have a dream that one day
Goldman Sachs does not care about this rescue package, neither does the big funds.
my 4 little children will one day live in
color of their skin, but by the content of their character.
Steht an den Märkten, Griechenland ist auf einem guten Weg und was immer Deutschland da leisten kann.
E allora abbiamo dovuto, e questo sì che ci è costato anche psicologicamente, chiedere un
All those people that don't work in the public sector, don't produce anything, spend the money of the state, have been recruited because they wanted to. No corrupt politician is corrupt enough to run around and recruit people in the streets.
Perhaps Americans may find it difficult to understand this, but Greece lacks a built-in culture of stability and discipline.
He sits in an office and corrupt citizens come and find him and tell him let's corrupt the whole situation together.
Η κυβέρνησή μας αποκαλούσε κοπρίτες και οι δανειστές μας γουρούνια. Και οι υπουργοί σε όλες αυτές τις χώρες προσπαθούσαν να μας πείσουν ότι τα φάγαμε μαζί τους.
Accept that there were failures in the political system. But let's be fair about it. We all partied.
Πώς τα φάγατε τα λεφτά που μας ρωτάει ο κόσμος? Είναι αυτοί, σας διορίσαμε. Τα φάγαμε όλοι μαζί.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressmen because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world, a decent world, that will give men a chance to work, that will give youth a future and old age a security. By the promise of these things, brutes have risen to power, but they lie. They do not fulfill that promise. They never will. Dictators free themselves, but they enslave the people. Now let us fight to fulfill that promise. Let us fight to free the world. You're bottling this man. Stop playing forward. Come on. This world has room for everyone. The good earth is rich and can provide for everyone. The way of life can be free and beautiful, but we have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls, has barricaded the world with hate, has goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed. We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical, our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness and gentleness. Without these qualities, life will be violent, and all will be lost. The aeroplane and the radio have brought us closer together. The very nature of these inventions cries out for the goodness in men, cries out for universal brotherhood, for the unity of us all. Even now, my voice is reaching millions throughout the world, millions of despairing men, women, and little children, victims of a system that makes men torture and imprison innocent people. To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass, and dictators die, and the power they took from the people will return to the people. And so long as men die, liberty will never perish. Soldiers, don't give yourselves to brutes, men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, and what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate, only the unloved hate, the unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, don't fight for slavery, fight for liberty. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke it is written, the kingdom of God is within man, not one man nor a group of men, but in all men, in you. You, the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world, a decent world, that will give men a chance to work, that will give youth a future and old age a security. By the promise of these things, brutes have risen to power, but they lie. They do not fulfill that promise. They never will. Dictators free themselves, but they enslave the people. Now let us fight to fulfill that promise. Let us fight to free the world, to do away with national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. Let us fight for a world of reason, a world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness.
This was meant to be the first post-ideological generation, right? This was meant to be the generation that never thought of anything bigger than our Facebook profiles and our TV screens. This was meant to be the generation where the only thing that Saturday night meant was X Factor. I think now that claim is quite ridiculous. I think now that claim is quite progressive. I think now we've shown that we are as ideological as ever before. Now we've shown that solidarity and comradeship and all those things that used to be associated with students are as relevant now as they've ever been. When I was kettled in there, I was with thousands and thousands of school students who'd come down with their ties around their heads in their school uniforms, and yeah, they were cold, who'd come down, who'd never been on a protest before, who'd never joined a political party or been involved in a political movement before, who didn't have any economic knowledge or political degrees, but they were there because they believed in something. They were there because they believed in something bigger, and they were there because they knew that either, there weren't a million choices, there were two choices. Either they laid down and took whatever the government threw at them, or they stood up and fought back. And so those school students who'd never been involved in anything before stood up and they fought back. And when they were in that kettle, being kettled in by police, the word went round as we were sitting, huddling around fires, sharing out what little food we had, and the word went round, people said, we know what they're up to. We know that they don't think we're a danger to the public. I'm 15 years old, people there were as young as 13. We know they don't think we're going to run riot through the streets of London. We know what they're up to. They think that if they kettle us now, we're not going to come on a demonstration ever again. Well, let the word go out from today, people said. Let the word go out about next Tuesday. Let the word go out about next week and next month and next year that they can't stop us demonstrating. They can't stop us fighting back. And however much they try to imprison us in the streets of London, those are our streets, and we will always be there to demonstrate. We will always be there to fight. People who had always thought that the police were just those people at the other end of the telephone line to help if there was a burglary. People who'd always thought that the media were just those friendly newspaper men who were there to give them that unbalanced picture of the facts. People learned a lot last Wednesday. People learned a lot as they huddled round fires and then emerged from that kettle to see headlines like vandals on the Evening Standard that afternoon. People learned a lot when a police van was left in the middle of the road so that the police could tow it away and show the whole public, look what vandals these people are. People learned a lot. So the message that goes out from last Wednesday is very clear. We are no longer that post-ideological generation. We are no longer that generation that doesn't care. We are no longer that generation that's prepared to sit back and take whatever they give us. We are now the generation at the heart of the fight back. We are now the generation that will stand with everyone who's fighting back. The most inspiring thing, I think, was that just after Wednesday, hundreds of people joined a Facebook group, school students joined a Facebook group in solidarity with RMT members on strike. Those are people who previously thought tube strikes was something annoying because they stopped them getting into school. Now they think they've got to link arms and fight back with everyone. So we want to show solidarity with everyone who's fighting back. We hope you'll show solidarity with us and send a strong message to this government that they can't throw their cuts at us. We're going to stand up and we're going to fight back.
No. There's something really wrong.
Dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary.
Oh, I follow you to the river that washes out to the sea, through the wind, through the rain of a cold, dark night. That's where